product specialist for this particular project on behalf of Energic. Okay, so I was sent here to actually give everyone more clarity on how this thing actually works and maybe some of the technicalities that you need to understand. And of course, later on, my colleague Simon will be here as well, and he will be talking more about the opportunity and how you can actually turn this into a global business. Okay, now I understand that all of you here, you might have a lot of questions. Questions about technical questions, about certain things that you discover and all that, and you might want to ask questions as well. So I would like to politely invite that you can actually keep the question towards the end of the training. We'll be staying back, don't worry, we'll be staying back to address all of your questions if possible. Okay? Alright, so good? So far so good?
Yes.
So I'd like to just invite all of you here to just maybe switch your phone into silent mode so that you wouldn't disrupt everyone here, so that you can get the perfect learning experience. Okay? Okay. So now let's begin. The emGuarde Intensive Training. We have spent about 6 years to compile what we have here for you today, because I've been working closely with the developer, in fact, okay, for the past 6 years, because this technology is not something that just came out yesterday. It's been around the market, and to be honest, the R&D begins back in 2009. It is actually incorporated by 4 ex-Panasonic engineers. So this is what caught Mr. Oshira's attention, that he wanted to look into this. Okay, so the history is, it is actually developed by 4 Panasonic engineers. One of them is actually the R&D director. Okay, and of course the other 3, they are from design team and also the audio team as well. So from there, they wanted to develop something which will solve, they call it the future problems. Okay, back in 2009, they realized that there is a potential crisis that's coming towards us. Okay, because through the advancements of technology, there will be more and more EM radiation going on. Okay, but when it comes to EM radiation today, I'm here to give you more clarity in terms of, it's not to say that when you turn on the emGuarde, it is able to eliminate all types of radiation. That's wrong. Okay, because if we say that, then this technology is going to win the Nobel Prize. So by far, there is no such technology in the market that can actually eliminate all radiation. Okay, it is actually very specific. And the developer discovered that this specific radiation has the ability, okay, to sort of like allow us to get a lot of benefits, for example, microcirculations and all that. So I believe just now before I came in, I think Kevin and also Energic Singapore's manager, Ken San, he did a good job. He played a video explained by Dr. Roland Victor. Okay, he's a prominent doctor from KL, and one of the distributors wanted to prove that, how does this works in terms of, deforming the Rouleaux formation from the blood and all that. So I think the best person is to get to a medical profession to do that, and I believe you see the before and after results. Okay, so now I'm here to explain to you why does that happen. How come this is happening? Okay, so why Energic considered this and wanted to actually market this globally. And Singapore now, this is the second wave. Malaysia starts first, somewhere back in May last year. Okay, and Singapore is actually the second wave. And the third wave is we're actually heading to Hong Kong on Monday, and Hong Kong is launching, okay, on Tuesday. And of course, Manila on Thursday. So we've got wave 2, wave 3, and wave 4. All right. Now, without any further delay, I know that you guys came in early, 1 p.m. And I'll try my best to be not too technical. At the same time, you get enough of knowledge and information to proceed with your marketing activities. Okay? Now, oops, this is not working well. Yeah, maybe you can help me to just go next, okay? So I'm going to cover some of these topics today. I think back to basics is very important. I'm not going to block this, I'm going to stand aside, because today I'm not the main point. The main point is actually on the screen itself. And don't worry, all this information will be given to you through our Telegram channel. Everyone can actually download it to your computers and you can reuse it as your marketing material. Okay? So the first topic, back to basic. First of all, what is emGuarde's function? emGuarde is not built to suppress or to cancel off every radiation in the market, no. We're talking about a lot of different radiation, okay? So it's very specific. It is suppressing specific electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. So this is the main function. Okay, the bandwidth given by the developer is between 3 megahertz to 1000, but where they set the suppression, it's a black box technology, they did not reveal. Okay, they give you this is the bandwidth, okay? Now, next. So when we talk about 3 megahertz to 1000, what is the frequency designation of this? But because frequency, there is a lot of different names. High frequency, low frequency, extremely low, very high, ultra high, and all that. Okay, eventually. So happen that this frequency bandwidth is between the high frequency designation. Okay, because as you can see from this chart, 3 megahertz all the way to 30, it's HF, which is high frequency, and 30 to 300 is very high frequency, and of course 300 to 1000, because our technology is up to 1000 megahertz. So it's actually within the ultra high. So we can safely say that it is within the high frequency region. Okay? Alright, so far so good? Now, next. So this is what I'm trying to express. When it comes to radiation, the spectrum is very wide. Okay? So in Kangen water, there is only two things we need to remember: acid and alkaline. Okay? So for this project, there's two things that you need to know, which is non-ionizing and ionizing. It's that simple, just two. So when people ask you, so what type of radiation does we actually suppress? Now, we are not addressing the ionizing radiation because ionizing radiation is way beyond our capability. We are talking about the nuclear plant back in Japan. Okay? Those chemical radiations back there, they are all ionizing radiations, including the X-ray machines in the hospitals. There's a reason why they're restricting us to go into the room when they're performing it. Okay, and the radiology have got a special uniform, before they go, because these ionizing radiation, they have sufficient energy to directly or immediately affect your biological cells. They have enough energy. So in a very short period of time, they will actually affect your biological cell. So this is ionized. Now, what's the difference between ionized and non-ionized? Very simple, huh? Non-ionizing radiation simply means that this energy do not have the immediate effect. Meaning, if let's say I'm exposed to non-ionized, I'm holding my phone, for instance. Where's my phone? It's over here. Okay, let's say this phone is emitting a huge amount of non-ionizing radiation. I'm holding it next to my head. It will not immediately affect my cells because it has got insufficient energy to directly or immediately destroy me. Okay, but the topic today is, what about over a long period of time of exposure? I'm not talking about 1 minute. I'm talking about every day for at least 2 hours for the next 10 years. So we're talking about long-term and long-duration exposure to non-ionizing radiation. And there have been studies, all of you here have been doing research online. There have been studies over and over again to show you that non-ionizing radiation actually will affect the human being at certain ways. But it's just that the government is not going to, this is very sensitive. I'm in Singapore, I wouldn't want to attract any unwanted lawsuits. But I'm trying to tell you that the government is doing certain things to protect us so that it will not create social panic. There are certain regulations to actually govern this, And up to a certain extent, they are right. Non-ionizing radiation is not harmful to us. It's not harmful. At a short period of time of exposure, it's not harmful. But they are not talking about long-term or long hours of exposure. Now let me ask you one simple question. Do we use our handphone today, or let's say, not just handphone, let's say we're spending time in a radiated environment, let's say this room. We are radiated by all this power lines, handphones and all that. Now, do we spend time in this room for only a minute or at least a few hours?
Few hours.
What about this gadget? Anyone here just use your phone for 5 minutes a day and you put this away?
No.
You don't do that, right? You've been using this for at least hours, a few hours a day, and for a very, very long time. Okay? And because of that, now we are addressing this. Because of that long exposure, we need something to at least protect ourselves or defend it. Okay? So let me just give you more clarity. emGuarde is addressing non-ionizing, and the frequency bandwidth is between 3 megahertz to 1000. Okay? And it's actually suppressing the high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. I'll explain further on that. Okay? So how does emGuarde works? First of all, it is focusing, look at the left one, it is focusing on targeted noise pattern. Okay, targeted noise pattern. Then it is releasing a string of harmonics frequencies, which is the black box technology, okay, to actually allow you to suppress it by breaking the pathway. This is how it works, opposing amplitude. Now, in physics, people talk about constructive frequency, people talk about deconstructive frequency. So this is deconstructive, meaning it is actually deconstructing the radiated frequency at a very specific frequency. Okay? So now the harmonic frequency, also known as cancellation. Now this is not what I say, this is from the patent itself. I'm just reading out the patent for you to see. Okay? So harmonic frequency, known as cancellation frequencies, have opposing amplitudes to their corresponding radiation frequencies in the air. There's a reason why when you do demo, you turn on the emGuarde, let's say at a range of 2 to 3 meters, you can actually see the suppression happening. There's a reason why the detector is showing you that there is a neutralization going on. Okay? So corresponding radiation frequencies in the air, they suppress each other or cancel each other out altogether. It is mentioned in patent. Alright? Next. So how does emGuarde actually works? Just go next. So these are the 3 pointers. I'm not going to repeat this because all these are available from the website. So I'm not going to spend time to read through. You can go to emGuarde.com by Magic. These are all on the website. These are the 3 points that you can use to explain to either your customer or a more technical prospect. Okay? So everything's written here. Alright? Now, so I've been asked by Hong Kong branch and of course our Singapore branch to actually dissect how it actually works and all that. And I've gotten green light from the developer to show you this. This is highly classified, but they know that Energic agent needs a weapon to go out and show people. They can just show you a black box and just tell people that this is a radiation, anti-radiation machine and all that. So I got a green light from them, and today you guys are the first crowd. In fact, not Malaysian, you guys are the first crowd to see this. Okay? So this is how it looks like. Pretty simple. Just go on. There are actually a few. There you go. Okay, just stop there. Now the first thing you see is that, so simple. Okay? Now I don't know whether Singaporean here got one thinking, 越簡單嘅嘢就越艱難做. Oh, there's a saying, the simplest thing is actually the hardest to do. For example, let's say you want to do fried rice. You want to fry one very nice fried rice. Very simple, right? People can just throw the rice in the wok and start frying. But if you want to do a very good fried rice, Wong Tai Chao Fan, you need years of experience. Okay, so when I first saw this, I was thinking, okay, I think I can build that. But the key to this is, it is like the Intel chip in your computer. Every computer has got an Intel chip, the processor, okay? So the processor, the core technical processor, is the one that governs a certain strings of harmonic frequencies they use to suppress the high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. This thing is not here to cut the signals. It is not here to cut your phone signals. It's not here to cut even your communication signals or the ELF from the power line. These are all radiations, by the way. Your phone signals, your Wi-Fi signals, the ELF from the power line, the magnetic fields and electric field. These are all radiation, but this thing is not built to cut that. Because when you do that, you cannot be using your phone anymore. And of course, imagine when I turn on the emGuarde, then suddenly you've got no electricity. We're not built to do that. What we're actually built to do or to suppress the byproduct of this radiation. Now, what's this byproduct? Whenever there is electricity traveling in the power line, it releases a certain level of high frequency electromagnetic noise. Something that your ears cannot hear, but your body can feel it. That's why some people, when you walk towards the substation, okay, or towards this high tension electrical line, you can actually feel that your hair is standing. You feel that there's actually this energy that's suppressing your chest and you can hardly breathe. Anyone here felt that before? Or when you walk into a cyber cafe, a lot of computers, gadgets and that, you feel suddenly you've got this unexplainable headache. And you just want to leave that room. Okay? Your body is telling you that there is an energy coming towards you and your body is absorbing it over time. Okay? Now I'd like to invite my colleague Ming, alright? And to put you into perspective, this demonstration itself will give everyone more clarity and okay. So anyone here you got iPhone? iPhone, okay? Now congratulations to iPhone owners because only iPhone got this app. Okay, Android don't have, somehow I cannot find. Okay? Now there's this particular app and the name of this app is called Sonic V. SONIC V, okay? And this app is actually used to channel a certain high frequency noise. And it is actually projected through the phone speaker. Okay? Now I'd like to test everyone's hearing all the way. Can I get the gentleman's name at the back with a blue cap? So what's your name?
No.
No, okay. I would like you to help me to identify whether can you hear it from that side. Okay. Now I'm going to tune to something where our ears can hear. Okay. It's very sharp and it's disturbing. Your ears can still hear this frequency. Okay. Let's play the sound. Can you hear that? You can't hear, right? But can you hear that from the front row?
Yes.
Pause. Just pause. You can't hear, right? But they are hearing it. Okay? Because our human ear has got limitation. Some of us, we can actually hear up to 20,000 hertz, but it's audible range. But some of you, because of the distance and that, you can't hear it. Okay? But when you can't hear it, doesn't mean that it is not there. Walk to the middle of the room. Just go to the middle. Play again. Generate the radiation. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Pause. Okay? Over distance. So this is at 9,000 hertz. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were to play this high frequency noise next to your bed, can you fall asleep?
No.
Why does everyone uses emGuarde for some particular time and they say that, oh, they sleep better? You know why? Because emGuarde is suppressing something that's disturbing you unintentionally and your ears cannot hear. Okay, now let me go all the way up. Show the crowd. This is 9,000 hertz. I want you to tune this to 25,000 hertz. Go all the way up. And 25,000 hertz is something which is beyond your ears' audibility. Beyond really, you can hear. Press play. Can you hear it?
You can't hear anything.
But it's there, you know. To prove to you. Now, anyone here, you got emGuarde in the room? You got emGuarde. Please turn it off. I want you to just turn it off for the moment. Just turn it off. I want to show you how the energy travels. Okay, how the energy travels. Okay. Maybe can I get Simon to help me? Simon, are you around? Is Simon around? Do you have your detector? Can I just No, don't worry. I have it. You have battery or hi. Detector. Okay, I think I got some. I got one here. Don't worry. Okay. Got. Okay, please help me to just hook this in. Give me a minute. Let me just hook on my detector and the battery. Hey, hello. Hi. Just here. So I believe many of you are seeing this for the first time, and thank you very much for this. Yeah, we need this very much. Thank you so much. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Yeah. So for the benefit of everyone, I'm going to just use this detector. Okay. Let me just show you. I'm going to try to find a neutral spot. Now let me just make sure that is everyone's emGuarde turned off. Okay. Okay, let's check. Okay, it's turned off. Okay. So I'd like to just find a neutral point because this room is bombarded with radiation. So this is pretty neutral. Okay. Now, for the matter of fact, this detector is built to read the power density as close as 1 centimeter squared. Okay, meaning if let's say I do this, I won't be reading the radiation from the room. But when I put this phone very close to the ring, just come close to the ring. Come close to the ring. This is where it begins to get the reading, okay, from the screen itself. But when I pull the phone away, just pull the phone away, you see, it subsides, okay? Now I want to show you how this high frequency electromagnetic noise travel out from the phone if I were to activate the app, okay? Now let's play the noise. Play. Can you see that? I'm not even touching the phone, and this is about 25 centimeters away from the phone. Pause.
Yeah.
You notice the difference? Notice the difference? Yeah. Okay, now tune to 9,000 hertz. Tune to 9,000. Okay? Tune to 9,000. Alright, this is more visible. Play again. Can you see that? The microvolts is actually increasing. Pause. There you go. Okay? So, in this simple demo, what we're trying to show you is that There are certain high frequency noise that our ears cannot hear, okay? If it's above 20,000 kilohertz, all right? And now we are talking about 3 megahertz to 1,000 megahertz, which is way beyond kilohertz, by the way. You need to add an additional 3 zeros behind. From kilohertz to megahertz, you need to add 3 zeros, by the way, okay? So with that, and because of that, the emGuarde is actually suppressing something that has been disturbing us. It's either our daily life, it's either when you're driving in your car or when you're sleeping in a room and all that, okay? That's the reason why some people, they're experiencing unexplainable insomnia, they cannot sleep. Some people, when you sit in the car or when you sit, let's say, in a computer room, you have this unexplainable headache and all that, okay? And these noises that's coming up from all the gadgets, you cannot hear. But it is in the environment itself. That's the reason why another point to sell emGuarde is that it is your environment harmonizer. It is not really an anti-radiation machine where you can cut off all the radiation. No, that's the wrong concept. It is your environment harmonizer because it harmonizes the high frequency electromagnetic noise that is affecting your being and also your micro circulation blood flow. And that explains why when we do that test with the Dr. Roland, you can actually see that after turning on emGuarde for 30 minutes, huge results. Control test, no drinking water, nothing, just sit there, play with the phone for 30 minutes. So far, so good. Are you guys getting this? Okay? So with that, this is the technology. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not going to block the screen here. Okay, let me just send. So the LED light is the indicator to show you that it is working. Do you see that wave coming up from the emGuarde? That's the harmonics technology, by the way, okay? So the core processor is the one that makes emGuarde unique and valued. Okay, we're talking about the Intel chip here. Okay, so do not compare the emGuarde with your Kangen machine because Kangen machine is built with high-grade, medical-grade electrolysis chamber. Okay, with medical-grade titanium plates. This one, what makes emGuarde valued is actually the processor, which is the harmonics control center. Okay, and through this solenoid, it is actually channeling the harmonics, and this is how you get covered at least 4-meter radius. Let me show you. All these gadget releases certain level of high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. It can be picked up by the detector, okay, of course, and 4-meter radius. Let me show it to you. So with the solenoid, with the antenna, okay, it has the ability to travel at least 4-meter radius. And in fact, in the factory, they are doing all QCs based on 12-meter radius. How many? 12-meter radius. It's the standard QC in the factory, but in the market, they are telling you 4-meter to be conservative. They are all from Panasonic. They are very conservative engineers. They said 4 meters. Okay? And by the way, the detectors that you are using for the demo, this tool is not for you to determine the range of the emGuarde. Because the detector has got some weakness, it will get distorted by the statics and all that because it's a very sensitive equipment. Okay, so maybe certain spots when you walk around, the detector might be here and there, although it is within that 6 or 7 meters. Okay, because emGuarde is checked, open space 12 meter. This is a standard checking. Okay, but in the house, sometimes when you walk around, let's say when you're on a static spot, the detector starts beeping. It is because the detector is affected by the static on that area itself. They call it ESD in technical term, electrostatic discharge. Okay, not just the detector, even your TV will get static attack on your huge TV screen. Okay, now distortion. What happens when you turn on the radio and when you go into a basement car park? Can you still listen to the channel, the Celine Dion singing? No, right? Well, all you hear is white noise. It is all about distortion. Okay, same thing. All right. So this detector is not built to confirm the emGuarde's range. Okay. So Energic wanted a very solid document. So today I'm here to tell you that they're actually asking a very prominent university in Malaysia. Okay, they name it University Science of Malaysia, and they're coming out with a new report, a testing report to show you that emGuarde can actually cover up to at least 6-meter radius. Is that good or good?
Yes.
Meaning in the near future, right, even without the detector, you guys are able to sell the emGuarde because from that paper itself, it is telling you that the harmonics can at least reach out to at least 6-meter radius. So in diameter, we are talking about 12-meter diameter. So far, so good. Okay, right. Now, this is the reason why people are investing into emGuarde. including yourself and your customers, the benefits. Now, when we talk about technicality, how it works is that I know that in this world, a lot of people, they are trying to understand the science, the physics. But you guys must understand that in emGuarde, the company would love to protect this piece of information because when this thing goes out, and imagine, let's say, some ABC products out there doing the same thing and selling for $200, what's going to happen to emGuarde? It will be a loss of business opportunity for the entire emGuarde family. Okay? So I would love to invite all of you here to be patient. I know that some of you here, you're professionals. You could be engineers, you could be PhDs. In fact, I'm not. I'm just an average Joe, believing that this thing is going to change people around the world. Okay? So there are certain things that we cannot say, but we will tell you information that's good enough to not let people challenge you in the near future. Am I making myself clear?
Yes.
So the one reason that makes people buying into emGuarde is the benefit. And what's the benefit? The entire project is built based on this doctor's research. Dr. McDowell, you can search for her name. She's got publications on PubMed and all that. Okay? And according to her research, she discovered that electrosmog, which is also known as electromagnetic pollution, has the ability to affect the red blood cells, which is what you just saw, the 11 minutes video by Dr. Roland Victor. Okay, Karan? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now, electrosmog affects the blood, and the first paragraph is this. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the clicker. So, now, figure A. When we are at a low electrosmog environment, this is how the hemoglobin looks like. Flowing freely, you can see the donut shape and all that, okay? So Dr. McAlvers put the subject into how many minutes of cordless phone use?
10
Just 10 minutes. Now you wonder why sometimes when you hold your phone and watch Netflix for 1 hour, you feel numbness from your palm. You feel numbness, okay? So you now know why. Because the microcirculation or your red blood cells going into this condition, they name it Rouleau's formation, is a French word. In Mandarin, it's called 折叠状, meaning 你的红血球叠在一起. It's like a stack of Pringles potato chips. It's stacking up together. Okay, so far so good. Now in this condition, what's going to happen? This is after 70 minutes of computer, not to mention. Okay, so in this condition, what's going to happen is that this, the highlighted point, low oxygen transfer, because when your blood is stacking up each other, it flows very slow. It's like sticky blood. They call it sticky blood. Okay, low oxygen transport. Okay, now with this, right, my team and myself, we actually joined the dots together. Remember during our Kangen demos, we always talk about acidosis and hypoxia?
Yes.
A research done by Dr. Otto Warburg many years ago.
Yes.
He won the Nobel Prize.
Yes.
Okay, and according to that research, he mentioned that hypoxia is actually due to lack of oxygen in the cell. Okay, deprive 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours and it may become cancerous. This is what he mentioned. So acidosis is one of the factors, but hypoxia is also another factor for cancer causing as well. Okay, so looking back into Dr. McDowell's numbers, now you know why when people say that when we are exposed to radiation, potentially we will get cancer. So besides the ionizing radiation that is destroying your DNA directly, the non-ionizing radiation will eventually leading to low oxygen transport due to Rouleau's formation. So far so good. Am I making myself clear? Point to point, okay? And with that, we would like to put this technology into test, okay? And the developer, they are very intelligent. They managed to dissect that particular frequency, which is a high frequency noise radiation. It's a few very distinct points, and those are the frequencies that will affect your red blood cells and all that. Okay, so they managed to crack it, and they built something, and today all of us here, we're enjoying the benefits. So far so good. Let's give them a hand. Okay, this is a very great invention. And with this, they built something that, okay, this video, right, this video is from me personally. This is not from the doctor, this is from me. So 6 years ago, when I learned about this, I was just a curious cat, a small little cat. But it doesn't kill me. You know why? Because the more curious I am, the more information I get. Okay? So 6 years ago, I learned about this. I remember I bought the microscope, and it's not expensive. It's about $300, see? and I did the test. And this test I repeat again quite recent, I think about 4 or 5 months ago. I repeat again. I just want to prove myself that this is again. So I did this on myself. I want you to see my results. This is my own blood samples. Can someone help me to play the video? Just click play. Yeah. Thank you very much. Volume okay? You have to plug it in, the auxiliary. Okay, let me just go back again and replay the video. Go back again. Auxiliary to the right hand side, you have a port, yeah. Right hand side. Am I being too boring?
No.
Am I like, I don't want to be like a professor in NUS talking about physics and science and you guys fall asleep. I don't want to have that happen because we're all here for a big time, you know. Because this thing for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm seeing it as this is going to be a tsunami. It's like a wave. Okay? And throughout the wave, of course, we get negative people around. Okay, along the way, we get negative people around. We just have to stand firm because the truth shall prevail. It's that simple. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
ready.
my blood sample after playing on the phone for about 15 minutes. Let's take a look at the observation from my live blood sample. And we are taking it through this microscope. Okay, taking out the finger.
Okay, so that's my first test. I was holding the phone for approximately 15 minutes. I was watching some YouTube video, and that's my sample, okay? Let's see what happens when I turn on the emGuarde. And this time, I'm still playing the phone. Don't get me wrong. I'm still holding the phone, and this is what happens.
This is my blood sample after...
Next slide.
So this is after 15 minutes continuous playing on my handphone. And I turn on the emGuarde over here, as you can see. This is less than 2 meters away from me. And this is the after result. Ben, can you help me to adjust to more? So this is the...
Can you see that it's actually moving?
Yes.
It's flowing. It's not like a stack of bricks. It's actually moving.
Playing
Okay.
on my phone. I'm on 15 minutes of non-stop YouTubing, watching some program. And this is how my live blood looks like.
So basically, I released this video about 5 months ago, and the public do not accept it because they say I'm not a medical profession. They challenge my academic level. They say, David, who are you? You can't just do this. You're not even a nurse. Okay, you're just doing something which is you're trying to convince us. So what I did was I got a bit upset because I'm not. But I believe I know more than these people because I've been researching this for 6 years.
6 years ago, also the same.
Same results, and I did it to 4 different parties, different age group, all is having same results. Okay. So what happens is that one of the distributors say, okay, it's okay, never mind, David. Then let's get the doctor to do it.
领了吗？穿那么多，还穿外套吗？
是啊，
Commercial break. No worries, that's a good commercial break. Okay, commercial break. So what we did was we actually get a doctor to do it, and there you go. And by the way, the video is available. It's uploaded on YouTube. Okay, it's available. Okay. All right. No problem. I need that break as well. Gasping for air. Okay, gasping for air. Next. Okay, I'm back on. There you go. Okay. Now this is something which is written on the patent, the same slides that I show you. Okay, the patent statement. And in the patent, the inventor, they submitted this technology and they used a few test subjects to do this. And the machine, I've actually shown it to my team member, and I believe Simon saw the machine as well. The machine is about 18,000 ringgit. So if I were to convert, it's about 5,000 Sing. Okay, that machine is able to check your microcirculation flow speed from the tip of your finger. It's a very high-tech machine. So they did it for the patent. Okay, now I want you to focus on a few figures there. First, this is the one. As can be seen in the graph, the initial microcirculation rate of this test subject figure is 6.13 cm per second. So that's the speed, the blood flow speed from the finger. Okay, all right. Now the next thing they did was simple. When the test subject makes contact with a cellular phone, and the microcirculation speed drops to 2.55. So from 6.13 to 2.55. Next, after the apparatus is turned on, now when they say apparatus means it's the emGuarde technology. It's none other than the emGuarde technology. Okay? It's turned on. There you go. Pop, pop, pop. It improves to 20 and eventually stabilizes at 26.6. Now, how come it is higher than even before, which is 6.13? Because probably when they do the test in the environment, there could be other source of radiation. Now, for your information, your phone is not only the source of radiation in your life. When people talk about phone and all that, hey, how come? The phone's not. It's actually everywhere. It's inevitable. Even the projector is showering radiation from your head. It's coming down. This is third floor. Okay? The floor that you're stepping is actually the ceiling of second floor. And when they turn on these lights, you are actually getting in. You are sandwiched between fourth and second. It's that simple. Okay? So when it turns on, it actually clears off the environment, and this is how it got this. Now I love this. I really love this last paragraph in the paper. I really love this. And every morning when I wake up, when I say this is the reason why it keeps me going, okay, for many years. So let me just go next slide. And let me just zoom. This is actually the whole zoom. I just want to show it to you. It can therefore be summarized that the invention can effectively, I like the word effectively because it is a confirmed statement, can effectively suppress the negative effects of electromagnetic radiation on microcirculation from either handheld cellular device like iPads and iPhone, okay, or computers connected to wireless network. I just want you guys to know that this is the biggest market in the world. The company who sells iPhone is a multi-trillion-dollar company. If you don't own an iPhone, it's okay. Somehow you own Samsung, Oppo, Huawei, isn't it? Anyone in this room, you don't have this gadget? Show hand. Anyone here? Show hand. You could be coming from some, I don't know, caves, or there are a lot of caves in Malaysia. Okay, Gua Mulu, a lot of caves, Sanlong. Alright, Hotor. Alright? So, I mean, jokes aside, if let's say there is none of you here in this room, you're not owning this, meaning the world is your market. There you go. Proven. Doctors or more. Okay? So this is the things that makes us stronger and why Energic is doing this globally. This is the simple reason. Okay? Now, again, I mean, all these are documentations and I just want to screen through this. Dr. Liu Renjie is actually a good friend of the inventor and he's ophthalmology in Taiwan. Okay? And from Dr. Liu's clinical trial, again, he's actually doing tests on the microcirculation speed on his patient's eyeball. Okay, different, huh? The patient is doing on your finger. Okay? Dr. Rowland is actually taking the live blood sample. And this test is actually on the microcirculation speed of the eyeball. Let me show it to you. I've got photographs here. So these are the exact machines that he uses. And this is the exact method on how he drew out the results from them. This is Dr. Liu, by the way. Sorry, he's like Dosan. You cannot take my full photo. You always take from behind, okay? Like Zhao Yunfa, again from behind, you don't see me, okay? But over here, you already see the face already. His face is over there. All right? So now, there are 3 red circles here. And let me be not so technical. The first circle is actually the average sample he got from 10 of his subjects. So out of 10 subjects, the average flowing speed of the eyeball, which is the red blood cell flowing speed, is marked at 20.1 centimeter per second. Okay, out of the 10 patients. So these 10 patients, they are all from different age groups and also male and female mixture. Okay? Now what happens on the stage 2? Dr. Liu put 10 of his subjects on 30 minutes of mobile phone usage. Again, he's using this. Okay, 30 minutes. Alright? And immediately you can actually see that the average microcirculation speed for the eyeball drops from 20 to 16.2, which is about any math genius here? How many percent? 20, 25, 30. 20%. Okay, good. So there's a drop 20% in just 30 minutes. Just imagine that some of you here, you're holding the phone and watching a few series of Netflix for 6 hours. Anyone do that? You binge on your couch, you watch Netflix for at least 5-6 hours. No one? Or they're not at me. Okay? Alright? Or what about Facebook? Sometimes you scroll, you thought 5 minutes, right? Scroll, 6 分钟 40 hours, 40 minutes, right? Scroll, scroll. Oh yeah, 11 o'clock, about time to scroll my social media. It's okay, just 5 minutes. Suddenly I check the clock, it's 2 a.m. already. 3 hours. Okay? Alright? Now, this is only 30 minutes. Imagine what's going to happen after 3 hours. Will it further reduce the flow rate? That's why some people, you develop this dry eye problem and all that. Anyone here, when you watch the phone for so long, and sometimes you're starting to have blurry vision? Is it? Isn't it? Why? There is lack of oxygen due to
Radiation.
Alright, there you go. Now, when Dr. Liu turned on the emGuarde technology, this is what happens. I want you to see it. The average flow speed for all the 10 subjects actually increases from 16.2 to 25.9, and it is even better than stage 1. Amazing or amazing?
Amazing.
It's amazing. Because before that, there could be other radiation source around the room already. Okay? And this is another additional radiation source. Just imagine some people, you're carrying 3 phones. Anyone here got more than 2 phones? 做大生意, stock market, then here Bitcoin, then here 3 phones, right? Maybe 4. Okay? So now, this is the results. And ladies and gentlemen, for those people who wants to challenge this, I think this is unchallengeable. You know why? Facts tells, and it's all on paper, it's black and white. Okay, next. I just want to let you guys know that this is how strong we are. And as part of Energic, this is how strong you can be to run this business globally. Okay? I'm so sorry, I forgot about this. I'm so sorry. Really, I forgot. Because I'm not used to holding this, alright? Sorry, sorry. Okay, now, anyone here, you need a toilet break or water break, quick one? 2-3 minutes. If let's say I'm creating, maybe you feel boring, you want to go and wash your face now? No? May I proceed? Okay. Now, frequently asked question. I will not go through the entire thing because I already put it into the website. There are about 15 FAQs with answers there. You can go through, okay? But over here, I'm addressing 2 very important FAQs that might help you to go on and tap onto the market easily. Okay, the first one. Why do we suggest using the RD9300 instead of the other detectors in the market? So I think the first question is when you experience the product and also the marketing ways on how you do this. The first thing that people ask is that, hey, David, in the market, right, there are actually other detectors that we can find from internet marketing and all that. But how come we cannot use those detectors? Because a lot of radiation detectors, you know? Some detectors, they are measuring in millisievert, some measuring in volts per meter, you know, some say measuring Gauss, milligauss, you name it, micro Tesla. These are all the technical terms they use for them to get power density reading, okay? So in this video, before I go into the detail, let me just draw something pretty simple, and I would like to just dissect some points here. Okay? So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. Very miniature, the whiteboard. Can you see from that side? Let's scan, okay? Very miniature, okay? So I'm going to just dissect into 3 different categories to allow the crowd today to understand better why are we using the RD instead of the other cheaper or more expensive detectors out there, okay? Now the RD9300 is a very unique detector. Okay, it's okay, thank you. It's a very unique detector. It is built to detect high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. Okay, so now the first detector out there you can get, we call it the ELF detector, extremely low frequencies detector. Usually they will be measuring from 50 hertz to 60 hertz. By the way, the RD9300 has got this function as well. If you notice, right, there's two settings from the detector. Can you show the detector again? It's over there. Okay, now if you show the detector, right, there's one button where you can play around on the top button, okay, but please don't go and tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You know why? Because when you tick tock a lot, then suddenly not working. Hey, energy, can sound. The detector not working. Don't do this because it's very fragile, okay? So that button, when you switch to one dot, now before you switch the program, right, make sure that the detector is off. You don't turn on, then switch left, right, like key siao, I tell you. The detector will key siao one. You just, because you're changing from ELF to noise, then ELF to noise, key siao one, okay? So every time when you want to change the setting, make sure that you switch off, you change, then you on it back. Okay? So when it is on button 1, this is the function. It is mentioned on the box already, okay? So besides this RD, there are a lot of detectors out there, cheaper ones, $20, $30, they can do that. And basically this detector is used to measure very low electric and magnetic field coming from the power line. So as long as, let's say, my gadget is connected to the power socket, I'm receiving AC power from the power line, this detector will attract the signals and get readings, and it will show you 2,500, so far so good. Okay, so these are ELF detectors in the market. It doesn't work. You buy this, you do Kanken demo, fail. You know why? If let's say this thing works, means when I turn on the emGuarde, there's no more electricity in the room. I'm cutting off the power directly. In order for you to stop this radiation, you have to completely cut off the power source, which is the electricity. And I believe the government would not approve the product. You know why? It is affecting the being of others. You just turn on pop, then next door no electricity. If you hate your neighbor very much, you can do that. Okay? Now, second detector, we call it the signal detector. So this signal detector, usually they're ranging from about 50 megahertz all the way to about 10,000 megahertz. And if I have to convert, it is about 10 gigahertz. If I have to do conversion, okay, 10,000 is about 10 gigahertz. I have to minus 3 zero. From G to M, it's 3 zeros. So minus 3 zero is 10 gigahertz, okay? So this detector, they are actually built to do one thing. To actually receive the signal strength of your communication devices. For example, let's say today, I got a Wi-Fi router here, okay? And my Wi-Fi router is transmitting a signal to your phone. You cannot see it. It is there, going to, okay? And this detector is to detect when that signal is traveling from the router to your phone, how much power density is that signal? Because that's also a form of radiation. Okay? Now, unfortunately, we cannot build something to disturb that signal because it's illegal. We cannot even build a jammer. Let's say they call it a Wi-Fi jammer or a phone signal jammer. It can be only used by the militaries, for your information. The government sector will use this to jam signals if there's a riot, okay, happening. So in order to get approved for public use, we cannot build something to jam the signal. So eventually the radiation is still there, okay? But the byproduct of the signal, we call it broadband noises or the radio frequency white noises. These are the byproduct of the signals. Let me draw a quick fine line to explain to you what's that. For example, let's say today I'm drawing this. This is a 5G tower. So sorry, this is not working. Blue color. For example, this is a cell tower. Okay? Now, cell tower is transmitting, this is called intentional signal to your phone. This is your phone. Okay? Now, your phone now has got two types of radiation. The first radiation is coming from this. Okay? And the second type of radiation is coming from the battery itself. Don't forget, there is still battery inside, you know? Okay? So that battery itself and also the IC circuit is going to produce certain energy as well. Okay, so combined, they are having a certain energy radiated from the gadget itself. So sometimes when you hold your phone for some time, you can feel that there is heat. Okay, you can feel that there is heat coming up because there is energy coming up from the phone. Now, number one, we cannot address ELF, which is the power source. If you cut the power, there is no phone you're going to use. Number two, if we address the signal, you cut the signal, we cannot communicate with our friends. There is no more 4G, 5G, there is no more Wi-Fi. Okay? The developer understands this clearly, that they cannot go into that region. Instead, they're addressing something which, according to their knowledge, when a signal travels, or when an integrated circuit in the phone is communicating or functioning in the phone, it is producing something known as the EMI, which is the electromagnetic interference. Okay? And this signal travels and all this thing, it is actually converting into what we call as the broadband noises, or in simple terms, they call it the radio frequency white noise. Am I making myself clear? And these noises is something that your ear cannot hear because it is way beyond your audible level. Remember the demonstration I showed you? When I channel something that your ear can hear, which is 9,000 hertz, you feel that, okay? But what if this thing, it's between 30 to 300 megahertz? It's way beyond your audible level. You cannot hear, but it is there to disturb you. That's the reason why we call this as the electromagnetic disturbances. It's disturbing you. So far, so good. I hope that I'm not too technical. Okay? And now, the RD9300 is built to detect high frequency electromagnetic noise. It is not built to receive this black line, no. It is not built to receive, no. It is built to detect all these dots. They call it the unintentional radiation or leakages from that signal itself. So far, so good. And they are suppressing that so that at least you get some calmness and relief. At the same time, we are not going against the law by removing the intentional signal coming from the cell tower. So far, so good. Okay? So this is the best balance that the developer can build. So that at the same time, we are getting benefits and we are not disturbing what the government has already been set. I mean, all these laws and regulation. So far, so good. Okay? So this is the entire nutshell that I'm here, and the purpose I'm here because I need to explain to you. And just imagine when your uplines, they come to your house first time, they show you the emGuarde demo. And when they do what I do today, what's going to happen to you? Confusing. Ask you to leave. You are not saying this to your customers, by the way. Today's training is not a marketing or sales speech. Today's training is to give you more clarity so that you have answers for yourself. But it is up to you for you to convert it into a more marketing or simpler words so that the markets out there, they can easily get it. So what's good? Okay? I'm not really a good salesman, but I'm good at doing this. Okay? Alright? So now, the RD is built to do this. Okay? And that's the reason why when we do demonstration, that gadget itself can effectively show you the contrast when we do demonstration. Okay? And why only Energic sells it? If I can be frank with you, okay? Energic's doing this not 100% because of the profit, no. Okay? It's because this detector, it's unique and there's no demand on it. People are not looking for this. Only Energic wants this. You know why? Because we are doing emGuarde. The world out there, they won't just go and buy something like this and go and test here noise, here noise. They are waiting for you to educate them. They're waiting for you to educate them. So this item is not like Laku, just put in a store and people just buy. No, it's unique. And Energic wanted to control the supply so that each and every one of you here, as a distributor, at least you can grab hold of this technology, which is the detector, for you to do demo. Imagine what happens when they don't control this. They put online. One tycoon is going to come in and buy 500, 1,000, and you can jack up the price because there's no more stock in the market, right? Correct or not? So you're no longer getting the detector at $300, $400 now. They could be selling at $800 and they force you to buy. No gadget, no demo. So far, so good? Yes. So Energic's actually protecting the interests of everybody in the room so that everyone can at least get this to do the demo. So far, so good?
Yes.
Alright? Now, So, after understanding this whole big picture, now this video that I'm about to show you makes more sense. Okay, let's watch the video. Thank you, man. Okay, so in this section of the video, I will show you differentiations of different detectors available in the market and why some of these detectors you should avoid it while you're using it to the emGuarde panel. Now, cheaper detectors like this says electromagnetic radiation detector. Too soft. Okay, let's play the video again. So I'm so sorry. Can we bring up the volume?
Where's my candle water? Can you increase it?
I think there was this thing here. This is max ready. Max ready.
Oh, put the mic.
Oh, I can pull the mic. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Pull me a chair. Just pull me a chair. And thank you, man. Or you guys prefer a toilet break first? You prefer a toilet break? Anyone here want to go toilet? For those who are still getting the water, please come back into the room and we can proceed with the EIT. Okay, all good? All good? Alright, so I'm going to just place my mic close to the speaker so that everyone can listen to this. Now, just a quick recap, because sometimes you go toilet and you come back and you forget what I say. Okay? Because you let everything out already, no? Then sometimes the information also forget already. Okay? So let me just do a quick recap for everyone's benefit. I was talking about the three different detectors in the market potentially for non-ionizing radiation. Okay, the ELF to measure the low frequency, extremely low frequency from power lines. These are the signal detectors, okay, which is to be able to detect, let's say, the 4G signal, Wi-Fi, whatever, communication devices signal, intentional signals, okay? So this is high frequency electromagnetic noise detection. So when you understand the three category of this detector, this video is going to make more sense for everybody. Okay, let's watch the video. I'm going to place my mic next to the speaker. Okay, let's go. Okay, so in this section of the video, I'm going to show you the differentiation from different detectors available in the market and why some of these detectors you should avoid it while you're using it to do the emGuarde demo. Now, cheaper detectors like this, it says electromagnetic radiation detector, but when you hook this emitter on, you can't even detect the radiation from a phone screen. So this doesn't work because this detector is only used to measure very low frequency radiation from the power socket. Okay? Now, another type of detector available in the market, electromagnetic field tester. Now this detector, we found out that this detector is only good at reading the signal coming in from the 4G or the Wi-Fi. Let me show you what I mean. Let me activate the meter here, and I want to put this meter below the iPhone. Okay. As soon as I call up a program from the iPhone, for example, I'm going to turn on the YouTube channel. There you go. So now the detector is actually responding to the data received from the YouTube itself. Now, as soon as I turn this phone into the airplane mode, so I'm going to terminate the Wi-Fi and also the mobile data. Okay. So immediately when I turn it to the airplane mode, as you can see, you no longer receive any response from this detector. Okay. Now, however, as soon as I switch off the airplane mode and the data is back, the detector began to respond again to the signal from the phone. Now, why I strongly recommended RD9100 is because now even if I turn the phone into the airplane mode, means there's no data, there is no Wi-Fi, the RD has ability to pick up the radiation from the phone itself, and now it's averaging at about 1,400 microwatts to about 1,500 microwatts. Okay, so in other words, RD9100 is not picking up any signal. Instead, RD9100 is actually picking up the power density radiation coming from the battery, okay, operated in the phone itself. Now, let me show you another detector in the market. This detector is what we bought from the USA and it's called the cell sensor. And supposedly this detector is able to pick up radiation from the cell phone. Okay, but now as soon as I hook up this meter, as you can see, okay, let me just put the meter on the table. Now, the phone is on airplane mode. As you can see, it's also picking up reading from the screen itself. Okay, now, but the thing is, we found that this detector is actually picking up and responding or reacting towards the metal part of the phone. Now, I'm going to turn off the phone. Okay, let me switch off the phone now. And let me show you what I mean. Now, as soon as the phone is switched off, if I use a regular RD, once the integrated circuit is completely shut down, the RD will get 0 reading because there is no more radiation source coming from this phone. Okay, because it's properly shut off and there is no power in the circuit itself. So everything goes back to 0. Okay, there you go. Alright, now, but for this detector itself, although the phone's already been shut off, you can still pick up reading from the phone itself. Now the reason is because detectors like this, they're actually picking up and sensing the metal parts from the handphone. For example, now in this handphone cover, there is one metal piece over here. As long as I put this into the metal, the detector is reacting against the metal but not the radiation. Okay? Alright. So this video was built to allow all energy distributors to at least save some money, so that you don't have to go through what I went through 6 years ago. I bought all sorts of detectors, trying to verify the source and all that, trying to do demonstration. And so far, I think this is very clear. All detectors are built differently. They are built to detect different sources, different things. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Just remember this. It's very simple. Okay. So once again, all right. Oh, clicker. Now the next FAQ is pretty interesting, and this thing is going to change the entire thinking of we as a human being, because I was not aware of this. For many years I was not aware of this, and this information is going to change everything. And this reason is also a very important reason for you to know that why emGuarde is built to suppress the high frequency electromagnetic noise below 1000 megahertz. Okay? Now, from these slides, I think the thing is not working. The figure, let me go next. Okay? So from FCC, right? FCC is actually a government body in the US. It stands for Federal Communication Commission. So from the FCC report, I've already dissected this, and I just show you the main points so that you don't have to read through the entire PDF. Okay? So over here on the highlighted points, now these are the main points. The new exposure limit are based on the data showing that the human body absorbs radio frequency energy at some frequencies more effectively than at others. Now to keep it simple, we can absorb more energy at certain frequency, higher than at other frequency, certain frequencies, okay? So over here, they are saying that the most restrictive limits occur in the frequency range of 30 to 300 megahertz, where whole body absorption of radio frequency energy by human being is most efficient. All right. Now, let me go back to this board, and can I rub this? Have you taken a picture? I'll just erase this. Okay. All right. So to put everyone into a very simple perspective, frequency is actually an oscillation starting from 1 hertz. Okay, 1 hertz is the very first frequency, and it means that it's a 1 second oscillation. Okay, 1 hertz. This is 1 hertz. And from there it develops to multiple hertz, and this is where it increases to kilohertz, megahertz, and gigahertz, even terahertz, all the way go to terahertz. So far so good? So this is actually the unit for frequency. Now from 1 hertz, when the oscillation begins to hit, okay, the starting point of the emGuarde's bandwidth, which is 3 megahertz. Okay, if you do the conversion, we are talking about 3 million hertz, if I do the right conversion. Okay, H that. And this represents 3 megahertz. Okay, Now, very simple, don't get confused, okay? Just remember 3 megahertz, but if I were to convert back to hertz, it's equivalent to 3 million hertz. So, all the way to, so this is the bandwidth, 1000 megahertz. This is what the developer gave us. This is the bandwidth of the suppression, okay? And up to 1, so 1000 megahertz, if I were to convert back to hertz, very simple. Who here wants to be a billionaire? Not million, huh? Who here wants to be a billionaire in Sing dollar? Show of hands. Billionaire. I want to be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Okay? Billionaire, huh? So just remember, 1000 megahertz represents 1 billion hertz. Very simple. 0, 0, 0. There you go. Alright? It's that simple. So when we talk about 1 gig, it is actually 1 billion oscillation per second. Very fast. Okay? Now, where is 30 and 300? If this is 3, if this is 1000, 30 to 300 is somewhere in between this range. So now you know why emGuarde is built. So, because why am I saying this? Because when you go out there and do business, people say, hey, my Wi-Fi is running at 2.4 gig on the lower band, and the higher band is 5 gig. Your emGuarde only up to 1, cannot work on this device. Throw away. There is no function. Let me put it in perspective. Okay? Let's say emGuarde's range is between 3 megahertz to 1 gigahertz suppression range. My Wi-Fi is already 2.4. Correct? Up to 5. Oh gosh. What about 5G? 5G is operating between 20 gigahertz all the way up to 60 gigahertz. To put it in perspective, it is way beyond 1. But if let's say everyone here believes that this high frequency signal is going to kill us that fast, half of the population will be gone by now. Because all of us here, we've been using Wi-Fi for many years. 2.4, 5, now 5G coming, right? So imagine when Singapore government turned on 5G, poop, everyone dropped it like the bird. Same job. Right? There is something that you guys are missing. It is not in the signals or the gigahertz. Okay? There is something that you need to understand here. Okay? So you get that, right? You get that? So according to FCC, the most restrictive limit to the human body occur between 30 to 300 megahertz. It's not in the gigahertz. There's a reason why we don't get killed by all these Wi-Fi's and communication signal. But it's, in fact, we got affected by this. It's actually due to, let me show you this. This is the aggregate human body frequencies. And based on this PhD's research, he found out that our human body's organ vibrates at a certain frequency, and it is between 59 megahertz all the way to 90. Okay, now let's look at the first one, brain frequency. 72 to 90. Why there is a fluctuation between 72 and 90? Okay, now I, David, I am at 72. I'm an average Joe. And who is 90? 90 is like people like Albert Einstein, the geniuses. Who here vibrates at 90? I can see a lot of 90 here. You know why? Because you're in Magic, very intelligent. You're in the best business platform in the world. Okay? Let's give yourself a hand. Right, you guys are at 90 or maybe 91. Anyone here one higher than 90, 91? That one overboard already. In 91. 91, okay? Just kidding. Alright? So 72 to 90 brain frequency, it's average human. That determines your genius level, so your IQ level and high, okay? So 72 is average. Your human body is about 62 to 78. 62, 78. Now finally I know why the MRI machine in the hospital is operating at 64 megahertz. Anyone here know what is MRI? You go in for your scanning to check your body. MRI stands for? Magnetic? Oh, very good, okay? So that machine is actually to check your body to see whether it's there any growth and all that, MRI. And if you go Google, I'm not scientist, you Google, what is the frequency that the MRI machine is working? It's actually at around 64 megahertz. And why is it working at 64? Because it is supposed to resonate with your body in order to get the image. Because when the frequency is different from your body, you cannot get any image, too high, wrong channel. So 64 is between human body's frequency, 64, right in the middle. Okay? So now everything makes sense, huh? Resonance.
Yes.
MRI, resonance. Okay? So high frequency, I'm not going to mention that. And because of this, If you notice, right, whatever it's on the screen, it is actually between 30 to 300 megahertz, which is again being stated by the FCC as the most restrictive limit, because our human body will absorb more RF energy at this region. So far, so good. And emGuarde is doing something around this region to help all of us to get away from the Rouleaux formation, to get away from potential low oxygen transports to your cell, hence preventing your body getting into certain degenerative illnesses. It's good or good?
Good.
It is amazing. All right? Every time when I say this, again and again, I'm touched by this statement because I've been seeing results. By the way, I'm not new in this technology. Before Energic took over, our team sold more than 5,000 units in 2 years. You know why these people, they are coming back after they buy the machine? They got results. They come tell, David, I sleep better these days. David, I got many. And that day during the Asian pre-launch, there's actually a testimonial talking about her Down syndrome children. This thing has the ability to calm him down, and somehow he's talking to the mom now. And I'm touched by just that fact itself. That gives me more energy to do this type of training again and again and again, despite my condition after COVID-19. You know, I'm drawing breaths now because I can't really stand for a long time, but that gives me the energy to do that, okay? Now, to put everyone into perspective, I'm talking about MR and all that resonance. Now, this is a tuning fork, and when it is tuned to a different frequency, it will not affect this ping pong ball to vibrate because it's different. See, 512 and 440. Okay, let's play the video. It's self-explanatory, all right? It is self-explanatory. You see, the ping pong is not doing anything. There's no vibration, nothing. Okay? So when the science teacher tuned to 440, it's doing something now. Okay? And if you notice, he's not even touching the ping pong ball now. It's airborne one. Okay? Kak sang tang. Then that one can. I watch a lot of Zhao Xing Qi's one and all these idioms. So now this is called kak sang tang, means I'm not actually touching the ping pong, but it is actually affecting the tuning fork due to same vibration of the frequency. It's that simple. Okay? So just imagine that your brain is operating at 72. What happens today if, let's say, there's a radiation source coming from above you, and it's actually showering between the region of 71 to, let's say, 76 megahertz? What's going to happen to you?
Get it.
Resonance. It's actually vibrating your cells inside. And you wonder why you're feeling tired, fatigued, you know, lack of energy, confused. Some people get confused, you know, because of that fact itself. And I think in this training, I missed out one very important statistics, and I would like to call out that page. I don't know whether we have that statistics or not. Yes. Just give me a moment. I think this is very important, and I need to share this. I don't have that. It's in that computer. Wait. No, I don't have that. No. It's okay. Just carry on. You get from better. Okay. I'm going to look for that slide. My team is going to help me. And I think that slide is going to give you new marketing materials to your demo slides. Okay? But my team is going to search for it, and I'm going to display that later on. But meanwhile, let me just continue and okay, I'm actually over here. So resonance. So now just imagine that there is this 70 plus megahertz coming from an external source. It can be coming from your phone, it can be coming from power line nearby and stuff like that. So when it vibrates at that noise level, what's going to happen? It's going to attract. Let's just imagine this is the source. This is us, our human body. Gongzhan, resonance. Okay, it's affecting you. So this is actually to sum up why some people you're having EHS. EHS is a current disease. They call it electro hypersensitivity. I like that gentleman. He's mentioning that whole name before I even mentioned, because I think you know about that, right? Okay, EHS. So, sad to say, you know about EHS, right, sir? You know about that, okay? You know about EHS. So, EHS is called electro hypersensitivity. And in the Western countries, the doctors there, they treat this disease as mental illness. There is no such disease. They say that this disease is actually a mental illness. For example, some people, let's say for me, right, I come here, let's say there's a radiation source here. I say, hey, I feel different, there's a flux, I cannot breathe, I've got anxiety, I cannot breathe. So the Western doctors will say that I, David Chang, cannot breathe oxygen here, means you cannot breathe. Doesn't make sense, right? Mental illness. But for the matter of fact, for so many years, we've been missing out something. That poor David could be having EHS, and he's actually feeling the vibration coming from the radiation source. He felt so bad that he's going to go into this mode, panic mode. Your body will go into panic mode now. Oh, how come there's this energy showing? I'm absorbing, I cannot tahan already. Make sense, huh? You go Google, you click EHS, self-explanatory. Okay? And with that, emGuarde is trying to resolve something before it gets to you, which is your body. It's that simple. It is addressing that issue within this region so that you can actually see the benefits after turning it on for some time. At least 15-20 minutes. If you leave it there for a whole day's best, sleep with it. Yeah, it's your second wife. I'm just kidding. Just leave it on your bedside. It's not second wife. It's another product to protect your family. Okay? Alright? So just leave it on. Let it play. Do we have the slides now? Are we on yet? Okay, so I believe Kevin did a good job and he presented the whole installation experience. I don't have to go through that. I just want to go back to the last point. Can you help me to skip the slides? On the static ESD. Just minimize the whole thing and just go through the ESD.
This one?
No, just, yeah, here, stop. Sorry, I think this is the one. Electrostatic environment, okay? So this is some common knowledge that you need to understand. I believe Kevin already said this, okay? Because the harmonics frequency is also, a technology, and it can be affected by this. Let's say there's a mirror, there's aluminium or metal. So these are like the kryptonites for Superman. You know Superman is very strong, right? But when that guy presented the green gem, the kryptonite, Superman become Ultraman. So the kryptonite of the emGuarde is actually metal, aluminium, maybe some mirror or static. It's that simple. Everything got weakness, right? Energy also got water source problem. Some water cannot do ionization. Same thing. Okay, so this is very open one. We tell you that this could be certain weaknesses that you need to avoid, which is metal, aluminium, and all that. Okay? Now, next. So again, another thing is when you do demo, you put your emGuarde. Now, don't think that when this thing is, a lot of radiation here, let's put emGuarde in the middle of the radiation and solve all the problem, put emGuarde here. This is a wrong concept, you know why? Because when you put the emGuarde here, the emGuarde is going to affected by all these different electrostatic discharge from all this stuff. No. In order to solve the radiation here, just put the emGuarde somewhere with an open space of at least 1.5 meters. Now my advice is at least away from the emGuarde, 1.5 meter radius. Free the emGuarde from all these complicated electronic devices now, so that the emGuarde can perform better and resolve the radiation here. So when the radiation is here, don't put here, you put somewhere here. Open space to resolve the problems over here. So far so good.
Yes.
It's that simple. Next. Okay? And now, a lot of radiation. Yeah. I put the emGuarde here. Boom, put here. Okay, solve problem. But the problem is, when you put the emGuarde there, it's going to minimize the coverage range because of ESD, electrostatic. See? So to resolve here, don't put here, you put somewhere like this to resolve the problem over there. So far so good. It's that simple, right? Now, do not put emGuarde directly on the floor. Let's skip this. I think this is very common because of static and all that. Okay. Now, skip to the static place. Okay, this one. Now, when we do demonstration, this is myself. I was doing this in the KL Energy office. Okay. All right. So let's say the emGuarde is here, and when you do demonstration to your customers, sometimes you wonder, when I do demo, I walk like this. I put the phone like this, I walk like this. The emGuarde is over there, and my back is against the emGuarde, I do like this. Hey, how come detector suddenly beep? Strange, right? You know why? Because your clothes, right, when you do this, you get static. Even this. When you go to people's house, let's say he's living in an apartment, okay, barefoot, the floor also got static, correct or not? So we are actually picking up the static because we are an electricity conductor, human body. If you don't believe that, wash your hand and go and turn on the switch. Check whether are you a conductor now, good or bad. Alright, so we are a natural electricity conductor. Same goes to static. You're going to pick up statics from your clothes, from your skin, and all that. And this thing is going to transmit to your body. And with static, it's going to affect certain judgment during demonstration. Okay? So my best advice is, when you do demo, do not go behind like this and emGuarde behind. No. When you do demo, emGuarde is there, you just do like this. You do the moonwalk. You know the moonwalk from Michael Jackson? You do this. The moonwalk, okay? So this is going to prevent your body static when you do demo, and it will actually minute or minimize the blind spot attack and all that. So the detector don't just peek here and there. Okay? So far so good? Alright? Now next. So this video we actually do it just to show you that sometimes when you do demo in people's house, and let's say the emGuarde is over there, okay, the emGuarde is over there, and I'll do demo, this is, let's say, 3 meter. How come my detector beep? I stand here, no? I stand here. When the detector beeps at this spot, it doesn't mean that the emGuarde is not covering here. And by the way, the detector is not used to determine the range, okay? But this is to show you that during the demonstration, because currently the detector is the best tool to show people or to allow people to understand, you know, how the harmonics travels to you, okay, to dissolve the radiation from the phone. So now, at the same time, when you do this demo, okay, we are facing here, this is another thing. Sometimes the static only on this spot, no? And the static is going to travel to your body, it's going to affect the detector, correct? But sometimes you just have to do one simple move. You just move aside like this. Step away from the static. Your phone is still at the same spot, and you can actually see different results. Because when you move away from static spot, it can never affect the detector and you go back to neutral. So far so good.
Yes.
So these are some of the tips that we can give to you. Because over the years, customers will say, hey, I stand here, the detector beep or emGuarde is not working. No, it's not because of that. It's because of this, okay? So I shoot this video, apologize, I do it in Mandarin, and I've already explained to you what I did in the video. So for those people's benefit who don't listen to Mandarin, at least you understand what is this video all about. In this video, you're going to see me holding the detector. It's beeping at first, same place. All I did was I just moved aside like this. I just changed my feet position to get away from the static. Okay, see the difference. 静电的这个问题，特别是你看到你做 demo 时候呢 ，emGuarde 是within4个米好像它的那个距离呢。可是detector想了，你们不要紧张，为什么呢？因为我的脚现在放置的这个地方呢是有静电的，所以我们的是导电体嘛，我会很重的静电能够导致到detector它响。可是你看我做一个小小举动，我现在呢我把我的脚移位啊 ，OK， 同一个地方，我的电话跟detector在同一个地方，我就稍微的adjust一下我自己的身体移位，你可以看，当这个地方没有静电的时候呢，它就 没有事情 ，OK。可是我回去有静电的地方呢，你注意看，知道吗 ？OK， 这个地方有静电。If you notice, right, my phone and detector is still at the same spot. All I did was I adjusted my standing position away from that static spot. That's it. Okay. So during demonstration, it's something that you need to take note. You just have to do this. Oh, okay. It's covered. So far, so good. Relax. Okay. It's still static. Next. So the next video is a more in-depth video to show you that we're actually creating static in the environment. That one is natural static from the carpet. But this one is we bought a static ball and we deliberately generate the static in the environment to show you that how this static is actually affecting the judgment of the data. Because, let's go to the next slide first. It makes more sense when I read out the next slide. So this is not from me. This is a Google search. I just type in, can electrostatic discharge affect a radiation detector? This is what I get from Google, okay? It says that, depending on the construction material, design, blah, 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 the static electricity can also affect other components, especially semiconductor that are often quite sensitive. Such event can lead to false reading, which means that when the emGuarde is on, and sometimes when static is there, the detector beeps. And this is actually certain false reading due to electrostatic discharge. It's that simple. Okay, so let's go back to the video. I'm generating huge amount of statics over there, and let's take a look at what happened.
Hi guys, so in this video, we will be explaining how static affects sensitive equipment like the LD. So now, I'm going to use the LD to scan the phone, as you can see. So it's picking up radiation reading. But as soon as I turn on the emGuarde, as you can see, the white LED light is on. So the radiation is gone, okay? So I'm going to move all the way back just to show you that emGuarde can actually cover up to that range, okay? It's further away from the table. So what we're going to do next is we're going to turn on the static ball. And as soon as I turn on the static ball, I'm going to show you that, the static is able to trigger the RD to beep. Okay, so once I scan the phone and I go near to the static ball, the RD number 00 begins to beep again, although it is within the coverage range of the emGuarde. Okay, it's very near, it's less than 1 meter. But as soon as I move away from the static ball, as you can see, the radiation detector stops beeping because emGuarde still functions. It's just that whenever we go near to a static area, the RD 9100 will get affected by the static and it begins to beep again. Okay? So now I'm going to turn off the static ball. So now the area is without electrostatic, as you can see. And as I scan the phone again, there is no beeping. So during the demonstration, don't get panicked. Whenever there is a beeping sound here and there, it is actually due to electrostatic. But your emGuarde is still working fine.
So this is to equip you when you go to your customer's house, and whenever you encounter electrostatic, the first thing that your customer will ask is, "Oi, beeping, got radiation. This place got radiation." So that is going to turn to a message where, oh, this place got radiation, your emGuarde is not functioning properly, and I don't want it. But for the matter of fact, it's actually due to this because you can't blame detector. The detector is built with an enormous amount of copper coil on the ring itself, the donut ring. And this detector is built to focus on the direction of where the radiation comes from, okay, from the donut ring itself, okay? And because of that heavy metal coil and all that, it is more prone to electrostatic interference, okay? So this is the reason. We can't do much because this is the weakness. At the same time, here goes the explanation. Okay, now, before I pass the stage to my colleague, an international speaker, okay, before I do that, I'm going to go back to the point I said. Remember I said just now I got something very important to tell you? And this can be used in your demonstration as a statistics to show a customer, okay? So just now I'm talking about resonance. If you're still following me, I'm talking about resonance. I'm talking about how this thing affects you between 30 to 300 megahertz, okay? Now, and I mentioned something about EHS. People can feel this radiation flux, okay, EHS. Now, based on the research, do you have the front cover of the research? Okay, just these two, can. So basically, this is actually did by here, EMF Safety Network. This research was did by a PhD, and the total participants is about 780 people. I'm just thinking offhand, well, 780 people. And these are the statistics gotten from these people, okay, from that survey and research itself. Now, they call it the health problems related to EMF exposures. I want you to take a look. Out of that 780 people in that survey, 88% of them are having sleep problems. Why you cannot sleep? Imagine just now when I turn on that 9000 hertz I put next to your bed. It's going to disturb you, isn't it? You cannot sleep. You don't know why. But there are a lot of noise out there where you can't hear, but it is there. So 88% of them, they reported, I cannot sleep. Okay, when they showered the radiation to them. Now, 89% of them, they are having fatigue, tiredness. Why you feel tired? When there is lack of oxygen in your muscles and cells, you feel tired. Okay? Now, 94%. This is amazing. Look at this. This is crazy. Concentration, memory, or learning problems, especially children. You know, I've been talking to early childhood education teachers around, either in Singapore or even in Malaysia. You know what they told me? They told me that, David, these days the children, they're having learning issues. They cannot focus. I teach them already, they forget. Every time we go back to iPad, play game, Cocoa melon, ding, 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 ding. Familiar? When you want your child to keep quiet, you put them on cocoa melon. Fair enough. Daddy's finger away. I got a son. My son's still young, so I use that to. Sometimes only, sometimes I just play that. Not every time. I use that to allow him to enjoy some entertainment. Sometimes only, not every time. Okay? Alright? So now, look at this. Concentration, memory, and learning problems. 94%. Big market. Young children. Okay? Stress and anxiety. Just I tell you, right? Oh, these people stand here. Suddenly got radiation. I feel anxiety. Something's suppressing my lungs. I cannot breathe. I'm beginning to develop panic attack symptoms. Something wrong. I need to look at a psychiatrist. Take some tranquilizer. Antidepressant tablets. Okay? But according to the survey, electromagnetic fields is able to cause stress and anxiety, especially in a city like this, because in a city, the density is high, which means that the radiation density is also high as well. It's up to you to believe. Now, this is the survey, 82% headache. Oh, a headache today, maybe I'm fat eat. Hey, too headache, you look rain. Headache, maybe I go and drink some herbal tea, or maybe take some paracetamol. Some people do that, okay? But actually, the root cause could be coming from this headaches because of resonance. You're absorbing it. So also good. Okay? Now, all these problems there stated, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's look at the source. Can I go next? Do you have the next one? Which is the, you only got one? You have the next one? Okay, there you go. These are the devices. Okay, the devices. So they put there also devices. So 86% comes from Wi-Fi because it's wireless, it's transmitting the energy, and here comes the broadband noise as well, which is something that your ears cannot hear, okay? The Wi-Fi, cell phone, 78%, smart meters, cell or radio tower, power lines, electrical transformers or indoor wiring, dirty electricity, computers, fluorescent lights, cordless phone, you name it. And all these gadgets and appliances is normally what you find in a regular living environment, isn't it? It's not just the handphone, no. Don't just attack the handphone, no. Handphone is only part of it. It is all these different appliances that is generating these disturbances, and we need to address that. Okay, so far so good? Alright, so at this point, I believe that when you look at all these materials that I've just shown to you for the past 1 hour, I've been speaking for about 1 hour, okay? And I do not encourage all of you here to use what I have here to do the business, because most of this information, they are too technical. I have to admit that I'm being too technical, and I might be able to kill your sale. You know why? Because when you do all this, you thought that this is powerful. Today you listen to me, you feel, oh, I'm pumped, I'm knowledgeable. Then you're trying to put this onto your prospect. I want to tell them everything I know today. You know what's going to happen? 反效果，物极必反. Your prospects get so confused, they don't know what you say, and they don't buy into that. Okay? And with that, I would like to encourage you to maybe tune on to emGuarde. There is actually a weekly demo happening every Wednesday. Okay? And it's actually presented by our international speaker. His name is Simon Loh. He's with me today. And usually, during that presentation, he's going to talk human language, not like me. I'm talking alien language. I'm from Mars. My father is Elon Musk. Okay? Alright, I'm talking SpaceX, all this. No. Today, my purpose here is to give you clarity just in case you have doubt about this. In magic, I turn on the box, suddenly the detector becomes like that. Wow, suppressed radiation. I cannot see one of my eyes. I have doubts. But the truth shall prevail. Okay, based on all the tests I've shown you today. If let's say you still don't believe, I got nothing to say anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. You know why? Everything is documented. Okay? So with that, I conclude my session, and I hope you enjoyed it. And all the best to your business. In Singapore, make Singapore proud, educate people. And I'll pass the stage to the next speaker, Mr. Simon Loh, who's a good friend of mine. And welcome, let's welcome them.